you agree with me if I said that the success of your life depends on the kind of person that you are and the attitude that you carry? Agreed? Not agreed? Hi everyone, my name is Hridhaan and I welcome you to Skillopedia, a place where you learn skills for the real world. In today's lesson, we'll understand attitude and how it can impact your daily life. More so, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to fine-tune your attitude. What are the top 5 tips that we have in this beautiful session that will help us understand how to fine-tune your attitude? If you're struggling with habits such as interruption, if you're struggling with habits such as not being a good listener, or somebody who is inadvertently very, very rude, how to eliminate all of that from your daily life is what we're going to be talking about. My name is Hridhaan, and let's get started. The first thing that we need to understand is, what is attitude? Pause the video and think about yourself. Think about it yourself. What do you think is attitude for you? Well, if you look at it on the internet, you'll see that Google says a settled way of thinking or feeling about something is called attitude. Read again. A settled way of thinking. It means when you're calm, and the way you think in that situation refers to your attitude. It's not about when you're fumbling and when you're not in the center of your body. It's when you're calm and settled. Other synonyms of this word particularly cater to the fact that it refers to point of view, viewpoint, vantage point, and frame of mind. So basically, the way you carry yourself out, the way you think about situations defines your attitude. No matter what the situation, do you think about it positively or negatively defines your attitude. Next important thing is how attitude affects you and your life. I'd say that attitude really affects your everyday life, no matter what you do and wherever you go. It affects your relationships, personal relationships, professional relationships, and your overall life, basically, by and large. No matter what you do, the way you think about situations and the way you deal with them defines your everyday life, with that the relationships that you deal with day in and day out. Either your attitude can make it positive or can ruin it. It shapes your reality. That is absolutely true. How real you are as a person and how clear you are about your identity. It shapes your reality, the daily actions that you do. And finally, your right attitude. Not any attitude, your right attitude helps you to be a positive, patient, and reasonable person and take actions accordingly. Please remember, it is about right attitude that brings the patience in you, the positivity in you, and makes you somebody who has reasonable ways of dealing with situations. Let's quickly move on to understand this. Can I change my attitude? If you want to change yourself as a person, then allow me to tell you, it's about the right company that you're a part of, and you can definitely bring in some relevant changes in your attitude as well. So yes, most definitely, if you have any problems related to your personality and attitude, please be rest assured, if there's a will, there's a way, and you can definitely make relevant changes into it. Let's quickly get started with the first tip of the day, and that is be purposeful. Anything that you do in life without a purpose is like going into a direction that has no achievement, that has no goal to it. Basically, it's like going into a tangent with no agenda. The whole idea is, no matter what you do in your life, define yourself as a person. Have 3 important characters to your personality. How do you want to come across as a person? Have a purpose to any and every situation that you deal with. Be proactive than reactive. Try to understand that proactively dealing with the situation is more important than giving a reaction to it. What is the meaning of proactively dealing with situation? It means whenever you are in a bad situation, do not think of immediately reacting towards the situation. Think of how do you want to come across as a person if you were to think about it later, if people were to reflect on the situation later. Do you want to come across as a person who aggressively dealt with the situation, or a person who very classily and very sophisticatedly dealt with the situation? That is about having the purpose of dealing and catering to any bad situation that happens with you. Control your communication and actions. It is very easy to react. It's extremely difficult to hold. And I've seen the classiest people on planet Earth that could exist. It's very easy to write on your Instagram bio that I'm a classy person or I like classy people. But there's a huge difference when it comes to reality. Classy people are those people who do not jump to reactions. Classy people are those people who wait for the right time to communicate, and they control themselves because they know that anger may lead to ruining their personalities. So what kind of a character do you want to be? The choice is yours. Be direct and concise with words. It's very important sometimes when you do not appreciate something, you say it there and then. You may as well say that this point contradicts the first part, but the whole idea is finding the right balance. And finally, practice politeness to gain back. What is the meaning of to gain back? It means to gain the support of people. It's extremely important. If you want to be somebody who is liked by people, it's important that you always respect people no matter what. Once people know that you're somebody who is extremely classy, who only knows respect as the way of dealing with situations, they'll stop messing around with you. Of course, it'll take time, but your personality has a purpose to it, and that is you are respectful. People will take their own time to understand it, and they will always think about dealing with you twice rudely. Let's quickly move ahead. Tip number 2 is grow patience. It's very easy to say, but it's very, very difficult to do. Not being reactive means being patient. We've spoken about it already in the previous slide. If you're not reactive, that is the sign of being a patient person. Let's understand it a little more. People will always bother you and get on your nerves. Let's accept the fact that no matter how good you are, no matter how great you are as a person, it is possible that people may not like you. And once you have that understanding, you'll be comfortable in your skin. But when anything bad happens, you've got 2 choices. Number 1, either you can let it bother you and you can be a part of the same circle and behave in the same way that people are behaving, or you can test your charisma. You can see how charismatic you are. Be your own invigilator, be your own teacher. See yourself. Are you able to control your emotions and have the purpose that you thought before in your quiet time, or are you reacting to the situation? So it's very important, test your charisma, the extent and the power of your charisma. Please remember, when you take time to communicate and when you take time to hold your emotions and get back in the right time and the right space, that is the power of charisma that you create. Let's quickly move ahead. Number 3 is look at the bright side. My mom always used to say, when there's absolute darkness, wait for the right light, that tiny dot of light, and keep moving towards it. It shows you purpose, and it also makes you look at the bright side always. Being negative is fine, but not at all, not all the time. It's very important. A lot of times I've seen, sometimes when people are negative, the audience around them and the people around them, those who are negative, tend to feel that they're very negative people and we want to distance ourselves from them. It's very important to understand being negative at times may be good, but not at all points in time. You push away people around you as a result of being negative. Look at the bright side of every situation. No matter how great the situation or how bad the situation, if you get the feedback of people or if people are negative, try to deal with the situation with the purpose as we say again, and always look at the bright side. How is it going to change and make things better for you and for the people around? And finally, encourage and be encouraged. It's very important that we encourage and motivate people around us. And it's also equally important to be encouraged as well. I've seen a lot of people, if you motivate them, they take it on their heart and they're like, you cannot encourage me or motivate me, I'm self-sufficient. No, it's very human to be encouraged. So when somebody gives you a piece of advice, take it with an open heart. Somebody gives you a piece of feedback, take it with an open heart. It's very important. And that may as well just help you make some relevant changes in your attitude as a person. Tip number 4 is be focused. It's very easy to digress from your goal because sometimes we feel that on spur of the moment as we react, we don't have that control and therefore we've completely digressed, and it's absolutely all right as well. But try to have absolute focus on the kind of persona you want to create out of yourself. It's easy to lose focus. Develop a mindset of never giving up. No matter what the situation, tell yourself that I have 3 important keywords that define my personality. For example, my important keywords are that define Hridhaan's personality is being respectful, being professional at all points in time, and being sweet. There are a lot of times when people say to me, if I could confess it to you right on camera, that I'm too sweet to be true, and it's fake. But then that's absolutely all right. I have decided that these are the 3 parts of my personality that I'm never going to give up on. What are your 3 parts of personality, 3 things that you live by? Write those 3 words that define your personality in the comment section below. Commit yourself to little goals. Those 3 words that define your personality, commit yourselves to those 3 important characters. And you will see soon, with that focus and with that purpose, a lot of changes may have occurred in your personality. Success sometimes takes time and effort. So you may feel that you're failing and you're not able to do that, but do not give up. That is the key. And the last important tip is pause for a while. It's important to relax and not beat yourself too much. Life is full of challenges. Take time to reflect on your actions. The way you dealt with situations when you come back home, always be a reflective personality. Always look back and see, how positive was it? Did it make you feel good? How negative was it? If you were to change it and alter it, how would you do that? That's very, very important. If required, take a step back. A lot of times, doing nothing or doing too much may as well backfire you. So it's important, if you feel that it's time to be quiet, take a step back. We do not have to always give our opinions or react to a situation. And finally, revisit your goals. Time and again, see how much have you improved in the last 3 months or 6 months in terms of the attitude that you decided that you're going to be working on, the 3 characters of your personality that you decided that you're going to be working on. So ladies and gentlemen, these were the 5 important tips that I have for you in today's session that will help us improve and change our attitude for good. Make sure that you've got a purpose. Make sure that you've got 3 words to define your personality, and do not give up on them. Thank you very much for being with me in this lesson, and I'll see you on the flip side.